Attention passionate Cleveland Browns fans. Latest news. Something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run. A power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends in Cleveland Browns fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Let's talk about what's happening behind the scenes and what it means for the Cleveland Browns. Moving forward, the Browns, after a somewhat shaky start to the season, just managed to get their first win last week. But don't let that fool you. There's a lot more at stake here than just a single victory. The team's long-term quarterback situation is still very much in flux, and the winds of change are blowing strongly toward the 2026 NFL Draft. Even with that small win, the Browns are still very much in the mix for a high draft pick next year, which means their focus is already shifting toward the future, especially at the quarterback position. Right now, Joe Flacco is still holding down the starting job. Veteran presence, experienced, reliable in some moments. But let's be honest, Flacco's best days are behind him. The Browns are aware that they need to be looking ahead, and that's why they're giving opportunities to rookies like Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. These two young quarterbacks are still trying to find their footing in the league. But the Cleveland brass already knows that their future might not be tied to either of them in the long run. Gabriel, from Oregon, and Sanders, from Colorado, are both talented players with upside. But the question is whether they can develop into franchise quarterbacks. In fact, some experts and analysts believe that the Browns are already eyeing the 2026 draft class as a potential game changer. The phrase "get comfortable with one of the QBs because you are going to take one" was uttered recently by Ken Carman on his radio show, and that really encapsulates the mindset. Carman pointed out that Browns fans should hope and pray that players like Drew Allar from Penn State or Cade Klubnik from Clemson put on a show on the college field. The reason? Because if these prospects perform well, especially against big opponents like Oregon or Ohio State, it could significantly boost their draft stock and make Cleveland's decision easier when the time comes. Now, this isn't just idle speculation. The Browns, with 2 first-round picks in next year's draft, thanks to some shrewd trades and draft capital accumulated in recent years, have the ammunition to jump up the board and select a quarterback they truly believe in. This is a crucial point. The team's management knows that if Gabriel and Sanders don't show enough to give them confidence in the long term, they will be ready to make a move. And why wouldn't they? The 2026 class features some intriguing names, including Drew Allar, LSU's Garrett Nussmeier, South Carolina's Lenoris Sellers, and Clemson's Cade Klubnik. Each of these prospects has distinct qualities, but Allar, in particular, has been generating buzz with his size, arm strength, and poise under pressure. But let's not forget, Gabriel and Sanders still have some opportunities ahead this season. They're not out of the running yet. As the season progresses, both players will get chances to prove that they can be the Browns' future under center. It's a critical stretch for them, and every game, every drive, every play matters more than ever. If either of them can flash the talent, decision-makers will have to seriously consider giving them a shot at being the team's quarterback of the future. However, if neither of them can step up and show the consistency, the leadership, and the skill set needed to lead Cleveland into the next era, then the writing will be on the wall. The Browns are already preparing for that possibility. and it's almost certain that someone new will be under center in 2026. It's a fascinating situation because it combines the potential for immediate improvement with a clear focus on the future, which is exactly what NFL teams are supposed to do. Plan ahead while trying to win now. Let's take a moment here to reflect on the significance of this draft class. Drew Allar, for example, has been considered one of the top quarterbacks in college football. At Penn State, he's shown remarkable poise, a strong arm, and the ability to read defenses with maturity beyond his years. His size, standing tall in the pocket, gives him the durability and confidence needed at the NFL level. If he continues to develop, and if he has a big game against Oregon or Ohio State, it could be the kind of performance that elevates his draft stock from a mid-round pick to a top-tier quarterback. Similarly, Cade Klubnik at Clemson has been gaining attention for his leadership qualities and his ability to perform in clutch moments, even if he's not as highly touted as some others. His performances and potential could make him an attractive target for a team like Cleveland that's looking for a long-term solution. Meanwhile, Garrett Nussmeier from LSU and Lenoris Sellers from South Carolina are also names to keep an eye on, as they represent the next wave of talent that could reshape the quarterback landscape in 2026. But let's not forget the human element here. Gabriel and Sanders are young players, both with potential. Gabriel, who came to the Browns with some buzz from college, has shown flashes of ability, but consistency has been an issue. Sanders, on the other hand, is still raw but has shown glimpses of the arm talent and athleticism that could make him a future NFL starter. The Browns coaching staff and front office will be watching closely as the season unfolds. Every snap, every throw, every decision will be scrutinized because the stakes are high. They need to see if either of these quarterbacks can develop into the franchise guy or if they'll need to pivot to someone new. This whole situation also underscores how important the draft is for Cleveland right now. They're in a position where they can afford to be patient, but at the same time, they have to be ready to act decisively if the opportunity arises. That's the beauty and the challenge of building an NFL team. Balancing the present with the future. With the current roster, including a veteran like Flacco providing stability, Cleveland is trying to find that perfect blend of veteran leadership and youthful upside. It's also interesting to consider how the AFC North is shaping up. The Bengals are looking strong with Joe Burrow, and the Ravens are always a threat with Lamar Jackson's dual-threat ability. The Steelers, under new leadership, are trying to bounce back. The Browns, with their recent changes and the potential overhaul at quarterback, could be positioning themselves for a major leap in the next few years. A new franchise quarterback could be the missing piece that elevates Cleveland into serious playoff contention and even Super Bowl consideration. So, as fans, it's a time of anticipation and patience. We're watching every game, every play, and every development on the college field because it all ties into what the Browns might do in the draft. Will Gabriel or Sanders step up and give us a reason to believe in their long-term potential? Or will Cleveland's front office pull the trigger on a top quarterback prospect in 2026? Nobody knows for sure, but one thing's clear: this team is laying the groundwork for a new chapter, and the quarterback position will be at the heart of it. And before I forget, let's just pause here for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead. It's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the Browns' current situation is quite intriguing. They're not just trying to patch things up for this season. They're thinking long-term. The draft capital they hold, combined with the growth of Gabriel and Sanders, will determine their next move. If one of these young quarterbacks can impress in the coming weeks, Cleveland might stick with him and build around that player. But if not, the team's focus will shift entirely toward finding that next franchise quarterback in the 2026 draft. This is where the draft becomes a critical puzzle piece. The Browns have historically had a roller coaster history at the quarterback position, but the 2026 class could be the one that finally brings stability and success. Drew Allar, with his impressive college resume, could be the guy Cleveland needs to take that leap. His ability to stay calm under pressure, combined with his physical tools, makes him a prime candidate to be a future star if he continues to develop. And there's also the aspect of how college performances could influence draft positioning. Carmen's point about hoping Drew Allar shines against Oregon and Ohio State isn't just about bragging rights in college football. It's about how those performances can impact NFL draft conversations. A big game can catapult a quarterback into the first round, and if that happens, Cleveland could be in a prime position to snatch him up. It's fascinating to think about the implications. The Browns could be on the verge of a quarterback renaissance, or they could be just a few more seasons away from finding their guy. Either way, the decision they make in the next year or two will shape the franchise for years to come. They have the tools, the draft picks, and the young talent to make a bold move, and Cleveland fans should be ready for what's next. Plus, we should take a moment to appreciate how this all fits into the larger NFL picture. The league is evolving. Teams are valuing young quarterbacks more than ever, and the Browns are no different. The competition is fierce, and the window to find that franchise quarterback is closing quickly for many teams. Cleveland's patience and strategic planning might just pay off big time if they hit on the right guy in 2026. Now, I want to hear from you, Browns fans. What's your take on all this? Do you think Gabriel or Sanders can step up and prove they're the future? Or are you already convinced that Cleveland has to go all in on a top draft pick next year? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion truly matters to us and to the future of Cleveland Browns football. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more insights, and more breaking news about your favorite team. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep this Browns family growing. Thanks for watching. And as always, go Browns!